Brockhampton is the only band that can make an album with so much diversity within the single project and still make it work. DJ Spark in the building with another album review. Today I'm reviewing TM, Brockhampton's final album. Be sure to stay tuned until the end for a final score. Brockhampton's 8th studio album, TM, dropped a day after The Family. Whereas The Family was basically Kevin Abstract's truth to why the band broke up, TM seems to be a bunch of songs that the band recorded for an album that they didn't really expect to be their last album, and they kind of just threw all the songs together. Really, the only song with a theme of goodbye is the final song on the track list itself, Goodbye, but it only features Joba and Matt talking about that they shouldn't take their good old days for granted, and Joba shows profound emotions of sadness over somber electronic keys and synths that do make it feel like they are wrapping up the band's career. I did think it was strange that Kevin wasn't on the final song of their final studio album, but that's neither here nor there. Goodbye is honestly one of my favorite songs on the record. I think all of the vocals are great, and I love the simple production on it. But the album starts out with the extremely edgy Yeezus-like FMG that provides in-your-face synths and 808s with high-energy flows and deliveries from Kevin, Dom, and Matt that contain braggadocious lyrics. And this album starts out far different from what we heard on The Family the night before. And then we transition into Animal, and we get this heavy auto-tune mix from all artists involved with catchy hooks and verses with a fun and bouncy beat. Animal is definitely a bop. Then Listerine hits, and we're sticking with the heavy auto-tune, and this is really the only track on the album where I really just wasn't feeling. It kind of sounds like a copy and paste Travis Scott Astroworld type beat with the same flows and melodies. This track is much more pedestrian compared to the rest of the record. And after 3 songs in, I could tell that this is nothing like what The Family was. But then we get New Shoes and Keep It Southern, both bangers, high energy, bouncy keys combined with vibrant melodies within the confines of hip-hop verses. And that's kind of where the bangers on the album end, right? Like, all the bangers are really on the first half of the album, and the album takes a turn at Man on the Moon. The first half was more edgy with trap bangers, where the second half turns into more that alternative, little bit more relaxed production and deliveries from the artist. Man on the Moon dazzles and gleams with synths and upbeat drum patterns and catchy melodies. A love song that describes kissing and dancing with a significant other and how they really take you to the moon with emotions and the vibes and the love that they give. Definitely a song that will get you moving. Then we get Better Things, which is more or less the ballad of the album with dreamlike synths and no drums, which is so pleasant to listen to. As Matt talks about finding comfort in a significant other, but really tired of being in a struggle with that person. Knowing he has to move on, which still hurts in the end, you know, if two people love each other, but for some reason it's just not working, kind of hurts the most, honestly, for a breakup. With Kevin providing a nice verse full of imagery about halfway through the track. Crucify Me definitely gives us some jazz bar drum patterns with the warm and fuzzy open and closed hi-hats and what seems to be some improv piano, especially on the back end of the track. This is honestly one of the darker songs on the album in terms of the lyrics they provide, because they talk about the pressures and weight on their shoulders that the money and fame and art brings them. Duct Tape and Always Something turn back around to that heavy auto-tune vocal mix where both songs give us that subtle acoustic guitar that layers nicely in the background of more dreamlike instrumentals. On Always Something, Dom and Joba give us some differing verses where Dom talks about being there for a significant other and Joba talks about some beef he had, but he's being the bigger man and maybe stepping away. Definitely some lyrics that are a bit all over the place. Then the album wraps up with Goodbye, once again a great ending to the album. Overall, I think this album is more your typical alternative Brockhampton hip-hop with not one common theme throughout the record. This album is diverse and edgy with great production and performances by all artists involved, mixed in with some wearisome vocal mixing and a couple pedestrian moments here and there. I do think they should have released maybe this album first and then The Family, because I think The Family is the stronger album and the real final goodbye to the band itself. But even with some shortcomings and the comparisons to The Family, family, we still get potent and effective music from Brockhampton as one band one final time. It definitely sucks that this band is breaking up because I do think they were all so good together, but especially with the family and everything that Kevin Abstract said, I can definitely understand why they're parting ways. I do hope they each, pursue some solo careers, but I'm definitely gonna miss the band. That being said, I'm gonna give this album an 8.1 out of 10, with my favorite songs being Animal, Better Things, and Goodbye, and that's a wrap from Brockhampton. Thanks for the memories. But what are your thoughts on TM? Did you love this album as much as I did? Did you not like it so much? And let me know your favorite songs in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming by. I truly appreciate it. If you liked the video, hit a like and subscribe to the channel if you love making music, talking music, and listening to music just as much as I do. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at EJSpark1. And as always, you know what it is. It's peace, love, I love s'mores. EJ, out.